Hello my friends, welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We're painting a winter night sky I should say. Let's just get right into it because I don't know how much time I have before my daughter wakes up. As usual, I'm painting while she's napping. So, man, it has taken me so long to paint February's tutorials in comparison to all the previous months. Just interjection here, I'm penciling out a horizon line for myself. This is where the snow is going to lay. We're gonna have like pine trees on top and then this dark sky up above that. And actually, now that I think about this, I'm gonna make this, oops, a little bit lower actually. Oh my. Luckily we're painting quite a dark sky over that. So it's gonna look something like that. And then I'm going to erase it just so it's light enough so that I can see it. So now we're gonna be painting a super dark sky. And I'll see how this goes because usually my dark skies end up not being that dark. But I'm gonna start with, I'm just gonna have this blue ready on my palette. And then I'm going to, I should have done this first, but oh well. I think it's better to start with light and then go to dark. So I'm taking water, like only water is on my paintbrush at the moment, and I'm just not tracing, but like lining the horizon line with that water about, I would say, ½ inch. And then I'm gonna take blue, like a, not quite a baby blue, but close to that. And then we're gonna transition that into a navy blue. I'm gonna mix this nice fun blue into that. Boom, navy. And then finally, at that very top area, we're going to take black and pop that on. And we're going to be doing 2 layers here, so don't fret if it's not dark enough, because even now it's not dark enough and it hasn't even dried yet. I really haven't figured out why it does this bleeding thing. I'm going to leave it for now because I don't know how to address it, to be honest. I'm just feared that it's gonna like bleed all the way down, and I purposely want to leave that white to have like this nice bright area. And I was going to I'm gonna switch brushes actually to a thinner one for this part, but I'm taking that navy blue, mixing a little bit of black into it, and I'm I keep saying tracing, lining my horizon line. And I wanted to have a bit of volume on this line for trees, like to make it look like there's evergreens or whatnot growing. And I guess it doesn't matter too much because we're gonna paint over this section anyways with black evergreens, so don't waste too much time on this. I just wanted like a little bit of definition there, but it's not completely necessary. The other thing I want to do is basically the opposite here that we did here, so start with black at the bottom and get darker, but making sure to leave a white gap between the horizon line and that block of color. We just don't have as much room to achieve that. So let's just see what I can do here. So I'm gonna have my navy blue. I left a little bit of space here and here for black, but I'm gonna take that really pretty aqua blue color and finishing off with the black. And then I'm just gonna have to paint that out. So I'm wetting, like I'm cleaning my paintbrush so that there's nothing except water on it. And I do that with every brush stroke. So I do this, I rinse my brush, wipe it on a paper towel. Do a brush stroke, rinse, paper towel. Brush stroke, rinse, paper towel. And I just keep repeating that because if I don't, then I'll just carry that color over until the next thing and it won't do this like subtle blend that I'm trying to achieve. Even now it didn't really do it because I didn't have that much space, but I did want to leave at least a tiny subtle white gap there. Okay, so we've got kind of our first layer down here. I'm gonna let this completely dry and then we're gonna probably go over it again. Okay, so I'm switching back to my large brush for this part and we're gonna do the same thing again. So I'm starting with just my water. And then I'm going to grab the first blue, then that pretty aqua blue. They're almost the same color. Now the navy blue. And finally, the black. I want it to be even darker than this. So I'm gonna just extend the navy blue. There we go. Okay, that actually turned out not too bad. I think my husband is, I kept hearing this thing, that's why I wasn't talking very much because I was trying to figure out what was going on and what was making this noise. And I realized it's my husband trying to clean our front door because yesterday we had this torrential downpour and our, what's it called? The eaves trough, I think that's what they're called. They flooded and they started, you know, spilling out everywhere. So they spilled onto a planter that I had full of soil, which subsequently caught, like it just completely filled with water and it created this splatterfest of soil all over our door and deck and all of that. So I think the sound that I was hearing was him taking a broom to it. But it was like I'm in the bathroom and I have the door closed and I can still hear it. Mind you, our house is tiny, so I'm not surprised that I could hear it, but I'm worried because my daughter is napping, and if I could hear it with the door closed, like where she is sleeping is much closer to the front door. And her naps have been quite short as of late, so. Okay, I think we're done with the second layer. I'm not gonna bother with these trees. No, I really should bother with them, sorry. So I'm gonna take that navy blue and just go in. I should have mixed it with black like I did the first time. So yeah, as I said at the beginning of this video, it has taken me so much time to film the month of February. Usually I could smash out a whole month in a couple of days, but I've been working on it all week long. Even more maybe. I think I started last week and it's already Friday of this week. And part of the reason of that is because my daughter her naps have been just unpredictable. Like she dropped her second nap for most of the week, and now she's been taking 2 naps again, but they're no longer 2 hours long. Now they're like an hour or even less. And so it's been really hard. Like usually I could do 2 or 3 tutorials in 1 nap. And now I'm lucky if I can do 1 during 1 nap. Anyways, I'm gonna let this dry and then we'll move on to the next step. So as I was blow drying this dry, I thought, how cool would it be if we had white deciduous branches spanning across this? I don't think I'll do that, but I'm considering it because it sounds very magical. But in the meantime, we are going to paint our evergreen trees, our pine trees in the foreground here. So there's going to be some overlapping these, and some of the pines are going to start below our horizon line to make it look like they're a little bit closer to the viewer. So these ones are just going to extend a little bit more towards the sky, and I'm just painting a vertical line and then painting these hairline strokes coming off of it for my evergreens. But there's so many different ways that you can paint evergreen trees and whatnot, so I was saying before that, yeah, one of the reasons it's taken me so long is because of my daughter to paint February, but the other reason is because I've been really preoccupied with dealing with some things going on in the background, and I don't want to say too much yet. Like, I don't want to tell you guys what is going on until things are kind of 100% happening. But what I will tell you is the only time in my life that I have felt a disadvantage, like a real disadvantage as a woman, because obviously, you know, men are physically superior. It's just biology. But the only time I have felt a disadvantage as a woman is people not taking me seriously, like contractors not taking me seriously, or just men not taking me seriously. I do the finances in our household. One, because I love it and I've been doing it for a very long time, like the finances, and I'm just very good at it. So my husband leaves that to me and everybody's happy. But as a result of that, I'm usually the one dealing with everything related to our finances, right? So people just don't take me very seriously because they think, oh, this woman doesn't know what she's talking about. Meanwhile, I don't want to get all cocky, but it's just very frustrating because I'm pretty sure that I know, like, for instance, this one time when this was years ago before I did my own investing, we were shopping around for a new investment broker because our old one was retiring or something was happening. And we met with this one guy and he was like, actually, this was kind of a trend with most of them. They would almost exclusively only look and talk directly to my husband, even though I was there too, and I was the one asking the questions because my husband, God bless him, he just doesn't know as much as I do because I'm the one that deals with the finances. I'm the one that deals with the investments. Like, he doesn't know all the terminology, and so, you know, these men are talking directly to my husband. Like, even when I ask a question, they respond to my husband. And it was really freaking frustrating. And this one guy, like, I'm pretty sure I knew more than him, or he was just trying to sell me a product and doing everything in his power to try and sell it to me, because he did not succeed. Because mutual funds, I'm sorry for those that think they're great, they are not great. And I have my own reasons for that. I'm not going to get into that, but so I've had it many times where I'm not taken seriously, or like people will not meet deadlines and they think that it's okay because I'm a woman and that I'll just, you know, stay quiet and be like, oh, that's okay, and no, I'm not. I'm anything but that. I think I'm a contractor's worst nightmare. I need to work on that though. That is something that I need to address. I have identified that and I realize that that is something I have to work on, because one of my problems is that I always think I can do it better than the individual. And actually I think I mentioned this in a previous video when we were having something else done on our house. I ended up finishing the job myself because I was unhappy with the work of the contractor. And it's happening again. It's a very different situation, but I'm just really tired of being taken advantage of because people think that they can take advantage of me because I'm a woman. Like, they would not talk to me the way that they do if if they were talking to a man and they were dealing with a man. And that's the frustrating part to me. Like, that I find so frustrating. Don't judge a book by its cover. That's the advice that I have for people. People, you know, I might look like people tell me I look young for my age. I might look like a little girl that doesn't know what she's talking about, but I'm pretty sure I know a lot more about investments than 50% of America. So, again, tell me to calm down because I get really worked up about this. This is what happens when I'm painting pine trees, by the way, is because the task is so repetitive, I end up like going on a rant about something completely unrelated. and it's so hard to stop myself when I get started. So that is the other reason, long story short, that is the other reason why it has taken me so long to paint February, because I am just on the phone all day, and I feel really bad for my daughter, who is just like staring at me, being on the phone, frustrated all day. I was talking to a friend, a very dear friend, like it's a couple and they're our friends, and they are so wise. They have so much knowledge to impart, and he was like, Julia, you need to calm down. You just need to take a step back, take a chill pill, and realize that this process is going to be probably one of the most stressful things that you're going to do in your life. And you just have to take a step back and accept that and just enjoy the roller coaster. And yeah, it's hard for me to accept that, because I am definitely somebody who needs control over things. And I don't know, I just don't think it's that hard to ask people to be reliable. I really don't. I was telling my best friend that I feel like I'm back in university bossing people around and then doing their work for them because they didn't meet their deadlines for a group project. That's how I feel like right now. Why is it so hard to find reliable people? Even online, when you're trying to sell something online, how many people ask, oh, is this available? You say yes, and then they never respond. For every ad that I put up, I get at least 10 people like that before I get a serious buyer. Why are people like that? It drives me crazy. As somebody who is very like on top of things and diligent and whatnot, it's very hard for me to deal with individuals that do not follow through with what they say. I'm just trying to think that when this video is released, because I'm painting this currently June 2024, and this is going to be released February 2025. So when this video is released, there is a very, very, very good chance that all of this will be behind me. And I'll look back on this video and laugh and think, thank goodness, like, we went through all that and now we're on the other side. Thank goodness. But it's hard to think that way in the moment when you're so frustrated and there's still so much left to, like, we're not even at 1% yet. And if you're listening to this and you're like, what the heck are you even talking about? I apologize. I will explain everything probably, definitely by my April tutorials, because I might pre-film March as well, based on how things are going. Okay, I'm sorry. I think that we are done with the pine trees. Now what I'm going to do is splatter on some acrylic paint, because this is supposed to be a night sky. If I could go back, I would have done a third layer for the sky and painted it black. I would have painted it darker, so there would be a lot more black. But we're already so far into this, I can't really go back now. So I'm just taking watered down white acrylic paint and I am flicking it onto this painting to create a starry night sky, or it could be snow. You can think of either. It kind of looks like snow because those initial splatters were kind of huge, which is making me, it's tempting me to put snow on the trees to make it snowy, obviously. Let's see here. I'm not good at doing snow on pine trees. I always end up making the pine trees look quite bad. So I'm just putting some like on every other branch, or where a branch would be. What can I tell you that is good news, guys? I want to focus more on what is good in life right now. Yesterday we had a major, like I think I mentioned it was in this video, that we had like a torrential downpour. And it rained for most of the day in general, which thank goodness, because the garden needed that, because the previous 3-ish days we had very warm temperatures, like there were heat warnings, which I'm starting to think that the Weather Channel is exaggerating, because we used to have way hotter weather and there were no heat warnings. But anyways, yeah, so we had a lot of rain. It watered the garden. Thank goodness. That saved me a lot of time, because it takes me at least an hour to water my garden. And I can't really water one of the pens because it's hard to get to. So yay, that saved me a lot of time. I'm very happy about that. So I'm just adding little snowy features here. Okay, I think we're done here. I think we are finished. I'm not going to do that white deciduous branch, mainly because I think it would not contrast enough with this white part and the white snow or stars, whatever you want them to be. So I'm going to leave it out. Probably a black deciduous branch going across would be nice, but I have a tendency to overdo paintings, so I've been trying to make an effort recently to just stop and not go further. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. Let me know what you guys thought about this painting. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit like and comment. It really helps me grow my channel and provide more free tutorials for you guys. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.